let me level with you, because I honestly want to find this out, because we've pinpointed the neighborhood. We know we either want Diamonds or Live and Let Die to reign supreme here.
Yeah.
I think my general approach to a coin flip situation like this, my end all be all, as we've proven with when we were trying to figure out Goldfinger or From Russia with Love, when in doubt, the bad guy will determine it. And so I'm unclear. I'm honestly, I'm not one way or another, because I think Kananga had so much potential, and therefore he has so much unrealized potential, and I think that will sink it down. And then you have Charles Gray's Blofeld, who is a lot of fun, but you don't take him seriously. You take Kananga seriously. So like, it's I like your point, McCurdy, about, well, when it comes to Kananga's operation, not only does he have the whole Mr. Big thing and the Kananga thing, which I like I'm saying, I wish they would have gone into that more. I wish they would have developed that more.
They could have had another scene, or we could have seen him operating that side of it.
That revelation of, oh, they're the same person, that could have had I mean, when he pulls that mask off, you're like, well, who cares?
Yeah.
It's really not a big deal. But had we had more time with one and the other, it would have been like, holy shit. Like, that could have been really cool. But instead, it's so underwhelming. And that's where I struggle, because I agree with you that, like, his operation with everybody in Harlem, I mean, that's all fun. Like, you got a honky on your tail. Like, all that is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that portion of it certainly is better than Diamond's bad guy. I fall back on Diamonds Are Forever just being it feels more complete in its entertainment value than Live and Let Die's shortcomings.
Yeah. The things I really like about Diamonds, again, we talked about Mr. Kid and Mr. Wint. I really like those two characters. I really like that we don't know what's happening at first. I think the Willard White, Howard Hughes thing is really fun, and it puts us in the Vegas setting. And that plot, I think, is great.
You stupid twit, you put the real one back in.
And I think Jill St. John, even though she's kind of obnoxious, like, I don't hate her at all, really. I actually kind of like Jill St. John's character, and I think Connery's performance is actually really good in that movie, even though he, like, on the surface doesn't give a shit, because he obviously came to work just like, I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't care anymore. I'm out. Like, they're just paying me $1 million. I'm just doing this movie. But I still think his performance and the things he says in the movie are good. So Diamonds is great up until you find out it's a space laser. And then it kind of feels like we went from, we were building to something kind of, what is he going to do with the diamonds, to like space laser. Where this movie, it's like, it kind of is very even in what it is, because he gets to the point where he's like, no, my plan is basically, I'm going to grow a bunch of heroin, going to give it out for free to piss off the mafia. And then in doing so, it's going to drive them crazy. And then I'll be able to be able to sell heroin to whatever I want to, because I will be the heroin
all that's
king.
good, but then he gets killed by farting himself to death.
And I agree. Yeah. I think the farting, the way he dies, that sucks. But when you look at the rest of the movie, I think it's great. Diamonds has some really great stuff in the building of the movie. And then we get to the end of it, and I kind of get like, it's like, okay, we got the big commando fight, which is great, because I love commando fights in the movies. But this one's not, I mean, it's just like, okay, there's lots of cool helicopter stuff, and all the dudes look like Batman villains with their orange jumpsuits, and like, even this movie has the matching suits and everything. But I just think this movie just a little slightly more interesting. And even the like the fact that you brought up, like how Solitaire is supposedly going to get murdered. It's like, she's like grown up in this world of being voodoo and all this like supernatural stuff. And so to be sacrificially killed is, I think, scary and interesting, where it's like, this is how your life is supposed to end.
Obviously, the death of Kananga is horrible. And Charlie, I think you were touching on like this movie, Live and Let Die, suffers for, like, it's one of the worst of the movies we've seen so far where it's like, just kill Bond. Like, why can you not kill Bond?
Yeah.
On the other side of things, I feel like the good guys have failed several times with just not bringing Blofeld in. Like on Her Majesty's Secret Service, he gets stuck in the tree, and are we supposed to just presume that they're like, well, he's dead, so just don't worry about him?
Yeah, exactly. Like, just walk away.
Like, kind of same thing with Diamonds Are Forever. Do they just like don't worry about him at the end of the day?
I don't think we touched on it.
I feel like that's a weakness for
How does
Diamonds.
Blofeld die in Diamonds Are Forever? I don't know if we
he's
really
in that weird
see
little
his
mini
death,
sub, but
we don't really see his death.
no.
We'll get into that later. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But we don't really see what happens to him.
Yeah. I've just been
Kananga, on
kind
the
of
other
doing
hand,
a checklist.
I think
You're
my
right.
point is I just don't think that Kananga's death justifies the movie being worse than Diamonds. I agree with you. Kananga's death sucks. It's the worst part of the movie. But I don't think that it justifies it enough for me to be like, this is worse than Diamonds.
Kananga's death brings it this movie down, but not securing Blofeld brings Diamonds Are Forever down in my eyes the same way.
I think there's just more
Kananga's
fun,
is
interesting
worse,
things going on. Even like, again, like Charlie, your mind was blown tonight by the fact that you didn't realize that one dude got killed. I'm like, that's what
I
the
still
movie
don't
was
think
supporting.
he was. I'm still in denial. I don't think he was dead. He's alive. Okay, here's what I want to ask though. So, because I agree about the Blofeld thing with Secret Service. Like, we didn't talk about it that episode, but it's like, okay, your arch nemesis is hanging from a tree, and had Bond gone back and verified that he was dead, then his own wife wouldn't have died. But like, I'm willing to forgive that because that type of stuff happens all the time. Where like, I mean, they assume that Bond was killed. Bond assumes that other bad guys were killed, and
even
like,
the way
like, whatever.
that scene is shot, it's like, okay, we got the close up of him in the neck, and he hangs there for a moment. It's like you're meant to think, oh, he died.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, whatever, I can forgive that. But I want to know right now, though, where are you guys leaning? Scott and Nathan, where are you? Starting with Scott, where are you leaning with these two movies? Which one do you think is above the other?
We appreciate your predicament, Mr. Bond. We deeply sympathize.
I have Diamonds Are Forever above Live and Let Die. Just as you said, I left Diamonds Are Forever more enjoyed. I had more fun watching Diamonds Are Forever. I believe it delivered the point, as we've talked about. It's a movie that was set up and let people know, I don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit either. And everybody had fun watching it. It was made to be fun. This one tried to be more serious, and I go back to the point she made earlier. It just failed in being serious. It had points where it was trying to be funny, and again, Bond himself was not funny. It was the exterior situation and the characters that were funny. So I have Diamonds Are Forever. I was more fun to watch than this.
Is there ever a moment where Roger Moore makes you laugh in this?
Not himself, no.
Anybody, like anybody.
I don't think so. Not for me.
And I don't want James Bond to be a comedian, but if you're gonna try to make me laugh, like Sean Connery succeeded in making me laugh several times.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go the comedy route, if you're gonna try to make me laugh with stupid ass puns and shit, I at least want them to land. I mean, even at the end, like Bond. Okay, my list: James Bond jokes or Bond jokes. You have two. You have he did always have an inflated opinion of himself when he kills Kananga, and then you have just being disarming, darling, when he kills Teehee.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they both suck. They both suck. I between the two, I choose. He did always have an inflated opinion of himself.
Where's Kananga?
Well, he always did have an inflated opinion of himself.
With this movie, they ask you to take it a little bit more seriously, and you You laugh at all of the supporting cast, but you don't laugh at Bond himself, and you don't laugh at the bad guy himself. I mean, again, Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever makes me laugh. The whole scene with him, like, where Bond's like, I don't know which one of you I would kill. And they're like, well, you got to pick one of us. Like, it's a ridiculous premise and it's fun. And this movie fails in those regards where I just wish the movie would have tried to bring us a little closer to Kananga, bring us a little closer to Solitaire, explore that world a little bit more. The whole Mr. Big versus Kananga thing. There's so much potential, and that's what bugs me is a squandering of potential. Whereas with Diamonds Are Forever, I don't get the sense that they squandered any potential. I think they went balls out with their comedy and they delivered an entertaining punch that I would go back to that movie and be like, yeah, that movie's more fun than this one.
Diamonds Are Forever was the more comedic movie. Diamonds Are Forever was the more like balls out, we don't care movie.
Yeah.
And if every movie is based off of that, then I'm like, well, did we forget about the other 5 movies with Sean Connery where he actually gave a shit and
well,
like, was
we
trying to
put
be
those
serious
above
and
it
stuff?
though. We put all of those above.
I know that.
Because again, we've been saying that intention matters, and with Diamonds Are Forever, the intention was like, we're going the opposite of Secret Service. Like this is a movie to eat popcorn and have fun.